With the release of a new Bethesda game comes the inevitable release of a vast collection of mods. Starfield is no exception. In fact, at the time of this recording, exactly 2 weeks after early access release, Nexus has 1,949 Starfield mods. I've tried a few dozen out so far, and here's a list of 5 easy to install mods that I would consider essential. At number 1, I've got Natura LUTs. This mod hopes, as it states, to improve on the game's washed out and hazy green color filters. The difference in game is pretty striking. Every environment looks more natural and vibrant. Black levels become much more enhanced. The ever-present haze that saturates the game is mostly eliminated. It makes such a positive improvement on just the visual presentation of Starfield that I honestly think at this point, after seeing such an improvement, I don't think I could actually play the game without this mod installed. At number 2, we've got StarUI Inventory. Starfield's default UI is way too clunky, bulky, and unwieldy. Detailed information is almost never available at a glance, search functionality is non-existent, and way too many items are just dumped into generic lists with no way to, without a lot of effort, distinguish between them. StarUI tries to change that with, among many features, far more compact lists so you can see way more at once, item sort functionality so you can easily find things. They use colored and easy to scan with the item icon, so when you're looking at a long list of miscellaneous items, you can actually distinguish between all of the different types. Then you have the ability to tailor what information is being presented to you, so if there's certain statistics that you want to see on all of your weapons, you can simply add that to the list and be able to easily compare the two. I mean, the list kind of goes on. I mean, just like Natura LUTs, I'm pretty spoiled on it, and at this point, I really couldn't play the game without this mod. There's just no way to go back to the default UI. At number 3, we've got Undelayed Menus. You'll notice all the menus in Starfield have delays and fading effects. It just feels very clunky and unresponsive. The mod attempts, and I think succeeds, to correct it in 3 different ways. It removes the fading effects from all menus. Now when you're cycling between different menus, they'll simply pop in, pop out, and won't have this animated fading effect to slow down the entire process. Just makes gameplay much smoother. It makes all the game menus refresh at 60 frames a second instead of 30. Why it was 30, I don't know, maybe because of consoles, but it's set to 30, so they're much slower and less responsive once you're in the menus than they should be. This fixes that. Also, the press to exit buttons, the things to warp, to land, to dock, are buttons that you have to press and hold in order to confirm the choice. These buttons will now engage twice as fast, so you have to hold it down half as long, so everything is just faster and responsive. So the menu itself will pop in and out much quicker, and the button itself only needs to be pressed half of the time, so the entire experience speeds up. It's just a huge and incredible difference to just the everyday gameplay that this mod makes. It's just, everything becomes much more responsive. At number 4, we've got Vanilla Flashlight Improved. It's easy to miss how often you use the in-game flashlight in darker corners of caves or in some of the darker rooms and facilities. However, when you do, you can't really miss how dim that vanilla flashlight is. This mod simply does 3 things. It makes the light brighter, number 1. It makes the surface area of the light larger, and then it also tries to eliminate some of the ugly banding effect from the vanilla light. The quality of life difference is pretty obvious with the mod. Also, if you're combining it with Natura LUTs from earlier in the list, it makes the enhanced black levels from that mod much easier to see and navigate in some of the darker areas of the map. And at number 5, I've got Smooth Shift Reticle. The mod makes one simple change to the game. It allows the spaceship hub to run at 120 frames per second instead of the 30 frames per second that it's locked at in vanilla. You'll notice that the stutter effect and the unresponsiveness in spaceflight actually goes away. With this mod added, spaceflight actually starts to feel fun and responsive. Now, you always have to, when you're modding Starfield, keep in mind that Starfield is a brand new game that'll get updated quite often over the months to come. So these mods can and will break as these updates come in. However, many of the most popular mods, which most of the ones in this list are extremely popular, will be updated fairly quickly and frequently to account for this. So keep tabs on Nexus, ModDB, or wherever you get your mods from. But guys, I hope this list helps shed some light on some of the fantastic changes modders are already making to this game. And if you want to see more content like this or would like to support the channel, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.